Okay, now that we have our T-chart done and we have the analysis done, it's time to actually write a short answer response based on this image. So the question that I'm going to use is, what is the photographer's purpose in the photograph? Okay, so what is the main purpose of this photograph? Okay, so when I think about that, I know that he's trying to show us, I think the photographer is trying to show us this poverty that these children are experiencing, this hunger that they're experiencing, and he's making a comment on that. He or she is making a comment on that. Okay, so when I answer that question, we're always going to start with a topic sentence. So this is for any short answer, and the purpose of the topic sentence is to answer the question. And I know it sounds silly, and I tell students that all the time. They're like, why do I have to keep writing this, miss? Because we forget, because we get so involved in actually doing the short answer response that we forget that we're actually answering a question. Okay, so let's start with that. I'm going to move to my paper here. So when we're answering the question, we want to use the language of the question. Okay, that will make it a lot easier on us as we are learning how to do these images and how we're doing the analysis. Okay, so the purpose of the photograph is to, so I could use the word show because I know the photographer is trying to show us something. But I want to use something a little bit more sophisticated that sounds a little more academic. So I'm going to use illustrate. That's a pretty good one for an image. All right, is to illustrate. Okay, and I always try to use two L2 words in my topic sentence as long as I can back both of them up. So I'll leave myself a little blank here and blank here. Okay, so the purpose of the photograph is to illustrate, and then I'll go back into my L2 list that we made earlier. Poverty, hardship, scarcity, lacking, and insufficient. And then kind of when I was talking it through, I also thought about hunger. And these are specifically children. So I'll say to illustrate the children's poverty and hunger. Okay, the purpose of the photograph is to illustrate the children's poverty and hunger. Okay, so when I go back and look, I want to make sure that I'm answering the question. Well, the question is, what was the purpose of the photograph, or what was the photographer's purpose? And do I answer that? Yes, he's trying to show us poverty, children's poverty and hunger. I always do my L2 words in red. It's up to you if your teacher likes to do something a little bit different. That just always helps me. And so I'm going to put a red box around my L2s to make sure that I have two in there that answer the question. Okay, and I have poverty and hunger. Those are two ideas. Those are two associations that I get. So now I have to make sure that my analysis actually backs those words up. Okay, so you'll be ready to move on to the next video to actually write your wrap.